Hello, this is Lisa Shea, the low-carb editor for BellaOnline.com, and these instructions are for an apple ginger shake recipe, or a juicing recipe. So you can see there the apple is cut up. It's a half apple, but we're going to give you the ingredients one by one, and the full write-up, if you want the text version, is at the lowcarb.bellaonline.com site, along with an Excel spreadsheet so you can plug in the exact measurements that you have for yours and see what the nutrition information is exactly for the shake that you make. So we'll start with a small handful of grapes, that is 38 grams. Now the half of a Granny Smith green apple, and that is 89 grams. Granny Smith adds both a bit of sweetness as well as a bit of tartness, and of course good nutrition. Make sure that you always tare your ramekin that you're using on the scale to make sure that you're not measuring the ramekin when you're measuring your different weights, and that you're measuring the contents inside the ramekin. So we're putting the wetter ingredients in the bottom first, and then we will work up to the drier ingredients. That helps the blender work better. We've got 1 stalk of celery, so we will add that in. That's 37 grams. We will add in 3 baby carrots. Carrots are good for your eyesight, as Bugs Bunny well knows. So here we've got our 3 baby carrots. Baby carrots are really just normal carrots cut up into smaller pieces, so you can use a normal carrot if you wish. These are just easier to deal with usually. Next up, we're going to use some Dole vegetable medley. This is a nice premix that has carrots and cauliflower and broccoli all in it already. You can of course just make your own mix with carrots and cauliflower and broccoli if you'd rather do that. Whatever works for you. So we're going to put in a medium-sized handful, or a small cereal bowl's worth, of the vegetable medley blend. So you can see in there the carrots and the broccoli and the cauliflower, and we're going to break some of these pieces up into smaller bits to make it a little easier on the blender. So we've got 136 grams of these, so that gets you all sorts of good nutrition in there for that blend. So that goes into the blend tuck. Next, we're going to add some baby spinach. Spinach is great for all sorts of reasons. It's good to have spinach in your diet. It has good amounts of vitamin C, has good protein, and it's just a wonderful thing to eat. So we've got 31 grams of spinach. And this massive uber spinach leaf. It came from a nice healthy plant. Now we're going to have to spend a little bit of time working on our ginger. Ginger is very good for you. It's well known in a number of cultures for all of its wonderful health properties, and it comes as a root. So you have to peel the outside of the root, and then you have to finely chop the ginger itself because it's a fairly hard, fibrous kind of entity. So we're going to start by going and getting the peeler and peel off the ginger, and then we're going to slice it up into little bits. So while Bob is working on the peeling and the slicing, I will give you the details on the shake. The cost per serving, we're going to make 2 servings here, and the cost per serving is $1.38. Most of that's coming from the vegetable medley. That amount in there is about $1.20 in the whole shake. They tend to be, I think, about $3 a bag. Yep. In terms of nutrition per serving, each serving has 124.3 calories. For fat, it's 2.3 grams. Cholesterol is 10.9. Sodium is 155. Total carbs are 17.9. Fiber is 4.1. Net carbs are 13.8. Protein is 7.1. And vitamin C is 66%. It's actually 67% if you round it up. So the carbs in here are coming from the apple mostly, and the vegetable medley salad. But it's worth mentioning that you've got 6.4 grams from the vegetable medley, so it's a quite reasonable amount. And then the rest is from the apples and the grapes primarily. So you can always leave out the apples if you want to, if you're on induction, but if you're deeper in a low-carb diet or not watching your sugar as much, then you can certainly add in the apples because they do provide nutrition. It's all about balance, to balance where you are in your healthy eating plans and what your blood sugar levels are and what works and doesn't work for your particular situation. So here Bob is cutting up the slices of ginger, and he's measuring them. So we've got 4 grams of ginger. He's just going to cut them up a little bit more, I think. I love ginger. It has a great flavor. He pre-made this for me in the morning and put it in the fridge in a plastic container. You can see a bit of the plastic container there to his right. And then I just poured it out later in the evening when I was ready to have this, and it was quite tasty. So this is definitely something you can make ahead earlier in the day and then bring with you to school or work or wherever you're off to and have a very nice treat. In fact, I have it in front of me right now while I'm doing this recording of the video. So it's very tasty. It has a fresh flavor to it with the ginger and the apple and so on. So now we've got our little bits of ginger that we're sprinkling on. And they do blend up quite nicely. It's a integrated flavor in the shake when it's done. Alright, so next up we're going to add some of our coconut almond milk. I had already pre-measured it to measure the weight of a cup, so I could put that into all my Excel calculations. So since we've got this cup of it sitting here anyway, we might as well use it. It's sitting behind the blender, so he will see that and go get it in a second. Oh, he's pondering. He was actually thinking about putting water into it instead of the almond coconut milk. And then he changed his mind and decided to make the almond coconut milk version. So here we go. So this is 209 grams. We know because I was doing that calculation before. So we spread that over it. We're going to add a teaspoon of flaxseed. Flaxseed is always good for protein and for fiber. And then we will add a half scoop of whey protein powder. And this is good, of course, for protein. And it also adds a bit of sweetness to the flavor. We have a number of protein powders in the house that we use for different purposes, so this one's a vanilla one. It's good to have a mix of flavors and options so that you can vary up your recipes. So here we go. Our half scoop is 12 grams. So we'll add that in. And now we are pretty much set. So we'll put the lid on. And then we will hit the whole juice button. So with the blend tech, it goes slowly at the beginning to integrate the wetter, lower things. And once it's got that lower base done, then it auto ramps up to a faster speed. So if you have a different kind of blender, you can do that manually. So there it goes to the faster speed. And it'll suck it in. And now we'll make it into a perfectly smooth puree. Sorry about that. And here it is, blending away. A nice vibrant green color, showing all the healthy ingredients that are in it. We should eat more green things in life. Green is a sign of health and nature and deliciousness. Just like the green apple. And there we're done. So this is a little thick, but again, that's quite fine. Oh, make sure that we take a little bit of time to get all of the nice fibrous bits off of the edges here and back into the shake. scrape down the edges some more. I suppose I could recite poetry to you or something in this spot. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. Although that's a snowy story, and now it's spring, so I'll have to think up some sort of a springtime poem to recite to you guys next time. So here's our nice thick shake. That's about 2 glasses worth. And here's what it looks like. So visit lowcarb.bellaonline.com for the full instructions, and let me know if you have any questions.